I mean, who wants to be an accountant, right? That's what my family always joked about, and that night at the restaurant was no different. The laughter from my family prickled across my skin, sharp enough to draw blood even though everyone else thought it was harmless fun. My brother's fiancée, Jessica, smiled with her wine glass held high like some kind of trophy. She's right, my father, Richard, chuckled. Our Sandra has always been the safe one. Mother Karen chimed in with her usual patronizing sweetness. We just hope you find a nice man, dear. Your job is, well, it's fine. Jessica leaned in, delivering the final stab. It's adorable that you think your little spreadsheet macro is a real company. That was the moment I realized my family didn't even consider me a full adult. They thought I was playing pretend. They didn't see me, they saw a role. And I had played that role so long that I wasn't sure who I was anymore. I didn't cry, I didn't react, I simply placed my fork down. The tiny click of silver on porcelain cut through the noise like a gunshot. Everyone froze, watching, waiting for me to apologize, to shrink back into my assigned personality. Instead, I looked straight at Jessica, her perfect, smug venture capitalist face. You're talking about Auditly, I said, my voice flat, controlled. Her smile flickered, she hadn't expected me to know the name. Yes, she said after a beat, regaining her poise. A cute little AI startup. Our fund is looking at it, we're planning to buy it for pennies. Really, I said, their team doesn't even know what they— You can't buy it, I cut in. My brother Ryan sighed loudly. Sandra, don't make things weird. I ignored him, my eyes never left Jessica. You can't buy it, I repeated calmly, because I own it. Auditly is mine. The silence in that $200 plate restaurant felt heavier than the overpriced steak cooling on our plates. Let me explain my family. They aren't monsters, they're performers. Their entire existence revolves around presentation. My parents live for the country club, for the social ladder, for the illusion of perfection. Success to them must be visible, a luxury car, a flashy title, an expensive bottle of wine casually displayed. My brother Ryan is their golden child, a real estate broker with a big smile and a bigger ego. He works less than he talks, but the commissions are large enough to keep the illusion alive. He is their pride, their shining star, their walking, talking resume. And then there's me. Sandra, 27, the forensic accountant, the quiet one, the safe one, the one who fixes everyone's spreadsheets but is never invited into real conversations. I'm the designated driver, the responsible one, the invisible one, the backdrop that makes their lights look brighter. But while they performed their lives like it was a stage play, I was building something real. For 4 years I coded Auditly in secret, creating an AI that could detect complex financial fraud in seconds. No flash, no noise, just pure, precise logic. And last week I signed a $7 million licensing deal. Not a sale, not a buyout, a deal that kept full ownership with me. When I left the restaurant that night with Jessica pale and Ryan stammering his disbelief, I didn't feel triumphant. I felt tired, exhausted in a way that sank deep into my bones. Driving home, I realized why I'd hidden my success for so long. It wasn't humility, it was survival. I parked my car and sat in the dark, listening to the engine tick down, and the truth settled over me. My family needed roles to function. Ryan, the golden child who reflected their success back at them. Me, the scapegoat, the safe disappointment, the constant reminder that someone in the family was still normal. My achievements weren't dismissed by accident, they were necessary. If I shined, Ryan's shine dulled. If I grew, their fragile image cracked. That night I broke the entire ecosystem, and they reacted exactly as predicted. When I got home, my phone lit up, not with apologies, not with questions, but with anger. My mother texted first, "Sandra, you embarrassed Jessica. That kind of tacky showing off is unacceptable, apologize." My brother was next, "You ruined everything. Jessica was helping me with a huge deal, why are you always so jealous?" Not one single message said, "Is it true?" Not one said, "Congratulations." They didn't care that I built something worth millions, they cared that I stepped out of costume. A week passed, silence thickened, then came the invitation, not a call, not a text. A thick cream-colored card with embossed gold letters inviting me to Ryan and Jessica's engagement party. It wasn't an invitation. It was a command, a demand that I show up, behave, smile, and pretend the restaurant scene never happened. They thought I would fall back in line, they forgot who I was. I sat at my desk and opened my laptop. Something Jessica had said at dinner echoed in my mind. "We're planning to buy it for pennies." How did she even know about Auditly? Then I remembered. 6 weeks earlier I had sent a small sandbox demo of my software to a dozen VC firms under fake LLC Ledger Analytics, purely a test to gauge interest. Jessica's firm was one of them. I pulled up my server logs. My fingers flew across the keyboard, dozens of access attempts from her firm. They weren't just testing the software, they were trying to break it open. Trying to breach the firewall, trying to extract the core algorithm, trying to steal it. But what Jessica didn't know was that I designed forensic software for a living. Catching thieves is literally my job, and I had built a trap into the demo, a tiny piece of code that triggered a hidden recording if anyone attempted to copy or export protected sections. It activated the webcam and microphone, recording 5 minutes of whatever meeting was in progress. There was one file, one recording. I clicked play. The screen lit up with a grainy video of Jessica leaning over a laptop with 2 engineers. One engineer said, "Security is too tight, we can't get the core logic." And Jessica, in her real voice, the cold, calculating version she hid from polite company, said, "Forget buying it, just crack this piece. If we clone the algorithm, the little accounting girl who built this will never know what hit her." I leaned back in my chair and breathed. They weren't just arrogant, they were thieves. And I had proof. The engagement party looked like a fairy tale. Strings of white orchids, a quartet playing soft classical music, people in tailored suits sipping champagne, a perfectly curated lie. My mother spotted me and practically sagged with relief. "Sandra, thank you for coming," she whispered urgently. "Please behave." "I'm not here to cause a scene," I said truthfully. I wasn't. I was here to end one. Ryan gave his toast, full of confidence, praising Jessica, the deal they were closing, and then high on his performance. He pointed at me. "And a shout out to my little sister Sandra, glad you're here to see what real success looks like." The crowd laughed politely. I didn't hear it. I was watching Jessica. She smirked like she had already won, like she was untouchable, like she was smarter than everyone in the room. That was her fatal flaw, the Dunning-Kruger effect in heels. I stepped forward. "May I say a few words?" I didn't wait for permission. I took the microphone. The room fell quiet. "Congratulations," I began. "And Jessica, you were right, my job is boring, especially when you spend hours reviewing internal security footage." Confusion rippled through the room like a slow-moving wave. I connected my phone to the projector. The engagement photo slideshow disappeared, replaced by the video. Jessica's voice filled the ballroom speakers. "Just crack the algorithm, the little accounting girl will never know what hit her." You could have heard a pin drop on the carpet. My father froze. My mother covered her mouth. Ryan stared at the screen like it was a nightmare. Jessica lunged toward me. "You don't," I said, my voice cold as steel. "That's called intellectual property theft, and you just confessed to it in front of 150 people. I turned to the room. "And yes, I am the founder of Auditly, and last week I signed a $7 million licensing deal." Gasps, shock, silence. I looked at Jessica again. "And here's something you'll really love. I didn't sell my company, I merged with the parent company of your VC fund." Her face went ghost white. "Which means, Jessica," I said softly, "I am technically your boss's boss." I handed the microphone back, turned and walked out. No dramatic exit, no tears, just freedom. The fallout came quickly. Jessica was fired on Monday, not by me, by corporate legal. Ryan lost his engagement, and worse for him, he lost the audience he lived for. His shine was gone. My parents called non-stop. Angry voicemails turned into confused ones, then desperate ones. "Sandra, please, you've made your point. Stop, you're tearing this family apart." But I wasn't tearing anything apart. I was simply revealing what had always been cracked beneath the surface. I looked at the spreadsheet showing the $7 million. For the first time, it didn't feel like a secret. It felt like freedom. I booked a one-way ticket to Italy. I shut my laptop. The click sounded like the closing of a very heavy book. That night I slept peacefully. No guilt, no noise, just silence, beautiful, earned silence. And sometimes silence is not weakness. It's the audit you do on your life before you finally set yourself free.
Thanks for watching to full video. Please subscribe and like.